Carol here. I wanted to take some time to show you another one of my favorite photo albums. This is one that I made using Graphic 45 Sweet Sentiments paper, and it's just one of my favorite that I have made. However, much as I would love to say that I came up with this all on my own, I have to give credit to those amazing people at the Graphics 45 design team, which you can actually see on their website. This is the front cover, which probably took a lot of time to make, but it's actually not nearly as maybe complicated as you might think. I bought this album. I believe this is a Maya Road album that I bought at Hobby Lobby to use as the base for the book. It has 3 rings, and I've attached some ribbons and tulle, and I made a real pretty little charm to dangle with some crystals and chain that I had. But as for the cover, I used some of the Sweet Sentiments paper, and again, if this is shaky, I apologize. I'm doing this one-handed and holding my camera in the other hand. The first thing I started out with is I got one of these little frames at Michael's. And what you need to do is you need to pull this cardboard back off of the frame, and then you can at this point, if you want to, or I did ahead of time, you gesso this with a couple layers of gesso, and I actually water the gesso down when I put it on. And then this is kind of my starting pieces. I'll place that somewhere on the cover that I like. And what I do when I glue the items onto the cover is I use a combination of E6000 and hot glue. I'll put the E6000 first on the back, and then I'll use hot glue. The hot glue will make your items stick quickly, but the E6000 will give you a nice strong hold for any items you might want to put on. Even in this case, if you want to put a picture in here, before you put this on, I should have said that, put the picture in, or if you want to put a saying or a phrase or a stamp, go ahead and put that in. The other thing you'll need to do as we get further on making this cover is you'll need to have some kind of mask that you can put over your item, because you will be spraying the cover with some mists too to give it a little bit of color. Then what I do is I kind of take various flowers that I have, kind of place them, decide how I like them. I've got some metal embellishments here. I've got these bunches that I saved, and I'll just take this whole thing and kind of dump it out and dig through and place things as I like. I have some lace down here. These are some metal pieces that I have, flowers, and actually, if you like, you can use some fairly bright colored flowers, because the gesso will tone down any colors you put on. Or these are actually white flowers that I sprayed with one of my Pretty Glimmer sprays, and then gessoed it also, and I just stuck some flowers in here. Once you have this glued to where you think you like it, take your gesso, which I like the Liquitex, but it doesn't matter, you can use any gesso, and I will slightly water it down. I just take my brush and I kind of dab it on all the pieces on here till I get an effect that I like. Let the gesso get good and dry. Then your next step is you're going to want to spray some mists on this to give it a little bit of color. Glimmer Mist, Heidi Swap has some really pretty nice pastel-y colors, any colors that you want. My suggestion would be not to use more than 2 colors. You can spray your first color on, and when you take your mist, could do a complete across, maybe across the top, across the bottom, holding the top down all the way until you finish the spray. Let your color completely dry before you put your next mist on. Reasoning being is if you start getting a little spray happy before everything's dry, the color can get kind of muddy. Like here, I think maybe I kind of got a little, kind of a little muddy look. And after all your hard work in putting this nice cover together, you really don't want to have to re-gesso everything and start all over. I think I tucked a few little doilies in here, as you can see. Just kind of any kind of fun little stuff you have that you like. Okay, now we took a lot of time to get that cover done. Let's go ahead and look at the book. It's just, this is such pretty, pretty paper, and I just had a lot of fun making little pockets and pictures. I'll try to get through. Here's a little photo mat that I stuck in with some pop dots underneath this. Here's another little photo mat pocket I made, kind of a double photo mat. This is one of my die cutters, Tim Holtz, I believe, which is nice because you can cut the chipboard and paper out and stick it in my pocket. And here's another little pocket I made with some more of that pretty, pretty paper. Added a few of those nice little stamps on the top, and I have a couple of little books I made for maybe some little notes, just using various dies that I had. And ribbons, some little stamps. Cut this out and stuck that in the middle. Use some pop dots to give this a little dimensionality. Here's another one where I just put some tags in the top with some ribbon, and used more flowers. Fussy cut some of the pictures, the dimensions off of that really pretty. And actually, some of this is Secret Garden, I beg your pardon, and some Sweet Cinnamons and Secret Garden. Here's another pretty page that I made. Boy, sorry about that. It is a little bit of Secret Garden and some Sweet Cinnamons. Here's another pocket I made with a couple of photo mats in the top. Here's another tag for some notes. And again, here's another photo mat. Here I fussy cut some of the Secret Garden. And here's another pretty page I made with some embellishments and flowers. And there is a tag in here. Let me pull that out. Secret Garden. Wow. Okay. And then this is a little last page of the book. If I can show this. This is put on with a brad, and you can push that down and flip open your page. It's kind of a nice little closure. Added some more embellishments with gesso and glue. Yikes. And here's my last page. So let's start all over again and tell you it is not Sweet Cinnamons, it is Secret Garden. Sorry for any confusion, but I really hope you like this book. It was a lot of fun making. I hope you can make one. If you need some information, anything further, ask questions, send me a note. Thank you.